Folks, this is Scott again reporting to you live from Hamilton, Life in the City. I'm here reporting live on the scene as we report on the ongoing fire here on Wellington Street South, just south of Main Street in Hamilton. Right now the fire department, the police department, everybody is here. They're trying to knock down the fire. We still have residual smoke and fire, but they have slowed down on the amount of water being pumped in. But as you can see, we still have smoke coming from the roof. I'm going to get as close as I can without getting into any situation, but yeah, right now as you can see, the house has burned pretty well. It's a dual complex. They are still monitoring it, trying to put it out. We have the HPS on their way across. Investigators are on scene as well. We will continue to try and bring more news to you as this occurs and bring you more information as it evolves. As you can see, we have firefighters going in and entering the building now to continue working with it, but we do have hot spots in between the two buildings, which I believe they're up on the roof, or they will be on the roof shortly to try and continue knocking that down. Again, as we reported, this fire started probably about half an hour ago.
Don't worry.
No, I'm trying to stay far. Yeah, I'm trying to stay far enough away to social distance, but I'm also reporting live on scene, so it makes it a little difficult.
Ask the guys to come over and water my wife's lawn.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm reporting for Hamilton Life in the City, so I'm trying to stay away from everybody as best I can, but also at the same time reporting on what's occurring.
Thank God all 74 police officers are here and no one's wearing a mask.
Yeah, I noticed that.
My dog even lost his mask on her walk.
Dog.
Come on, you. Get over here. This is social distancing. Get over here. Not bad.
As you can see on the second structure, it's still showing smoke coming up through the roofs, just in between by the two buildings. It's looking like the roof and the fire is still inside on the one building. I believe they're trying to knock it down from the inside at this moment. We are expecting, though, shortly they'll probably have the pumpers going back on again. And fire crews up on the ceiling trying to continue to put this out. We're going to stay here on site and continue to report this while it's occurring. As you can see now in the first building, which was really burnt quite well, the fire department is up in the roof. They are trying to knock down the fire from inside the ceilings. They're also checking for further hot spots.
Find the fire yet? He wasn't wearing a mask.
I'm surprised I don't see him up on that other roof trying to knock it out.
No, the other side is all smoking.
Yeah, exactly. You would have thought they'd have started knocking down on the second side by now.
Weenies up there. Thank God the detectives are here.
Oh, wait, see a flashlight coming out that window now on the other one. I guess they're finally now trying to see if they can get the weenie roast.
There's a fire here.
Alright folks, we're still going to continue to social distance at this point, try and stay back as far as we can between other people while we're reporting live on the scene here. Again, we're at the corner of Wellington, and I believe this should be, give me 1 second, we're on Wellington and Jackson. We're here live on the scene at the corner of Wellington and Jackson, where there's been a dual building blaze. Fire department is inside both buildings. However, we do still have smoke coming outside of the second house. But at this point, I don't see any of the firefighters on the roof trying to knock it down or trying to put it out. But they are inside that building. Hopefully, shortly, we're going to see if they're going to try and knock it down or they're just going to let this continue to burn. Again, we're going to continue to remain on scene, reporting live, until such time as the fire is knocked down and we can find out any further information as to what may have occurred. As you can see, the smoke's gotten worse. Now they're going to finally turn some water onto it. Oh, we got a flare-up occurring in between the two buildings right at the moment. Just started the flare through the roof on the second building coming off the side of it. Fire department's trying to now knock down the fire that's come through the roof on the other house. As you can see from the video as we're showing you folks, there is still a fire going on inside the attic up on the second house. They do have a ladder up, but they have not started to knock down the fire in the ceilings yet. Don't see any of the firemen on the roof as of this moment trying to knock down it. Again, we are going to continue to be here live on the scene, reporting for Hamilton Life in the City with the fire here at the corner of Wellington and Jackson. Really? You want to give me my 6 feet instead of walking 6 inches? People don't know how to social distance. Really, ladies, social distance, please. For those of you that just may be turning in and seeing this live, again, I'm Scott. I'm here with Hamilton Life in the City, reporting live on the scene on Wellington and Jackson with the two-building blaze that's occurred on Wellington South, just before you approach the Claremont access. We still have ongoing smoke and that coming out from the secondary building. Smoke's getting a little thicker and a little heavier. Just wondering when they're going to start to knock down the ceiling and the roof to try and get access to the hot spots. Again, for those of you just appearing in and tuning in, we're here with Hamilton Life in the City, reporting live with our news broadcast. The fire that's occurring on Wellington Street South at the corner of Wellington and Jackson, just before the Claremont access. The fire in the first unit has been pretty well contained. However, the second house is now starting to show more smoke and starting to appear as if it's getting worse inside on the upper attic of the second building. We're going to continue to watch to see as the fire department tries to knock it down. We now have a fireman going up on ladder 1, probably to reposition and re-angle the water pressure in the hose over onto the second unit. Smoke is getting heavier as we sit here and watch and continue as Unit 2 is getting more and more smoke and more hot spots on the ceiling. We are now watching. They are moving ladder number 1 into position to start producing water onto the roof. And see if they can continue to try and get this knocked down further. Again, we're going to remain on scene until such time as we know that they've knocked out both fires. At this point, we are not aware as to what the cause is. I will try and continue to see if I can get details and information while it continues. You can see the fire is getting a lot heavier, the smoke's getting a lot worse in the second unit. We now have smoke coming out completely out of the window on the attic, as well as on top of the roof. But at this point they have not started to produce any water into that area. Ladder 1 does appear to be in position. Again, we still don't see any water being released from ladder 1. But ladder 1 is now in position with their truck set to try and pour water onto the second house. Fire department has now smashed out the window on the upper attic part of the second house, trying to vent it out and allow the other fire officer to be able to start pouring water in and trying to knock down the fire. You can see that they are pouring water in from the inside of the building up into the roof and trying to knock down the hot spots. Again, we are venting heavy smoke at this point along with the water. Fire department has now knocked out a second window up in the second building, trying to vent and be able to give access to water and knocking down the hot spots and trying to put out the remainder of the fire inside the secondary unit. Ladder 1 is now starting to finally pour water onto the top of the roof as they're continuing to put out the fire. You can now see the extent of the water coming off the roof heavily as Ladder 1 is now continuing trying to put out the fire. Hydro's now arrived on scene as well. And continuing, as I say, we're reporting live here on the corner of Jackson and Wellington, live with Hamilton, Life in the City. With myself, Scott Thompson, reporting it live as it occurs. One fireman's now bringing in fans to try and vent out the buildings. And again, we still have a lot of smoke coming out of the second unit. First unit's primarily been knocked down, however, second unit is still being knocked down at this moment. Mechanical division is now here. They're bringing in more Scott packs to help the officers or the firemen with changing out their apparatuses so that they can continue to fight the blaze. You can see the firemen up in through the window trying to knock open some more venting to the roof so that they can get access to the hot spots and try and continue to put out the fire as it's occurring in the second story unit. We have Hamilton paramedics are also on the scene. Alright, we can see again that ladder 1 is starting to push water out onto the roof, trying to knock down the hot spots as they continue to further try and put out the fire. They're now turning on pumper 1 is also starting to commit water onto the fire. As they continue to try and prevent the fire from jumping over to a third residence. Here we have some officers coming out trying to get out of their Scott packs and switching over to another set of Scott packs, and also trying to get themselves cool with the amount of gear they're wearing dealing with the fire. They are trying to cool themselves down a little before continuing to fight with fire. But you can hear that from the sounds that the Scott packs are starting to become a little low with oxygen, so they are switching. And the officers that are out front right now taking off their jackets and that are also having some cold water, trying to cool themselves down and hydrate so that they can continue to fight this fire. And as strong as they're fighting with the water, you can still see there is some smoke coming out from that upper part of the roof. They haven't been able to completely knock out the fire yet. They are trying hard to be able to contain it, but they have not completely knocked it down yet at this moment. And as I've said earlier, I will continue to remain on site reporting live until such time as the fire is out. And again, this is Scott with Hamilton Life in the City, reporting live on scene at the fire at the corner of Wellington Street South and Jackson Street East. I don't mind people coming near, but at least give space to other people. However, one thing you can definitely observe as you notice, social distancing is occurring somewhat to an extent, but not enough social distancing. I've already been incurring of at least 4 people that have tried to encroach on my social distance. However, I am trying to keep myself still within a 6-foot distance on social. Oh, and there we go. We've just flared up on the top of the ceiling. Just on the peak where they're trying to get the water in. They have managed to be able to vent it open enough that they can try and get the fire out.
That's got to be the insulation burning, eh?
It is. What I found weird is they knocked down the first unit, and then they continued to let this unit go. They only started knocking down this unit in the last 15 minutes.
Why?
That's what I was trying to figure out.
There's got to be a reason.
There's got to be a reason, I know, but it was just kind of weird. They knocked that one down completely, and you could watch the smoke coming out of this for almost 20 minutes before they even started the knockout.
Maybe wait for the fire to get it?
That's what I'm wondering, enough that they could get a hot spot to know for sure where it opened up at.
If they leave it, if they get it right away, what do you do, walk in there?
Exactly. Now you got to risk for the firemen, and I get that, but...
Well, these guys are just fucking standing around. Let's go ask them.
They just came out. They've just taken off their Scott packs and taken off the coats trying to get dehydrated again. They brought them over a cooler of water, and they brought them some fresh Scott packs, so... It's got to be pretty hot for these guys in this weather with all that gear and them being inside that building.
Should I walk over and be like, anybody want to smoke?
Yeah, you could always do that. And normally I have my press pass on me. Okay, you can start smelling the smoke now, and the smell of the wood as it's finally being knocked down, and the fire is being controlled at this point. They've got water being poured on it from at least 4 directions at this point, including ladder 1, pump 1, 2 sets of firemen down on the ground with hoses, aiming directly at the roof, trying to continue to knock down the fire. However, you can still see that smoke's venting out on the right side window on the upper floor. So as much as they're hitting the hot spots, there is still a couple hot spots inside the building they're trying to get under control. At this point, the Hamilton Fire Department, though, has done a good job. They've contained it to mainly 2 units at this moment. There has been no jump over to a 3rd, which is good. They've got water coming at all sides of the building, trying to contain it to keep it from jumping to a 3rd building. to everybody that keeps walking into somebody's space. You don't see somebody standing here? At this point now, pumper 1 is starting to appear to be able to redirect their water up into the window on the right hand side and trying to continue to put the fire out. folks, it appears that the fire department has knocked it down at this point. Details as we're getting them now coming in with regards to the fire is that the transformer, the electrical transformer on the pole had an explosion causing arcing across the electrical lines, and from that explosion it jumped onto both buildings due to the electrical charge coming across the wires to the houses that are attached to those poles. But evidently it was caused by a transformer having multiple explosions and then transferring across the lines. There was multiple arcs, multiple sparks, which then occurred to transfer over onto the house on the balcony, causing the fire. Tenants did vacate the buildings through the rear of the building and are on the street right now. Again, we've been reporting here live on Wellington Street south at Jackson. They have managed to knock the fires down to both buildings now, finally. Hydro is here. I'm believing power is going to be out for a few hours now while they try and not only deal with disconnecting the houses, but also trying to recorrect one of the transformers that exploded off the pole, which caused the arcing to go across and the sparks to set the building on fire here on the corner of Jackson and Wellington. So again, this is Scott from Hamilton Life in the City. I've been reporting here live on Wellington Street South. At this moment we are going to disconnect the broadcast for a bit while I switch over to another device. Thank you for those tuning in, and this will be posted live up on our website very shortly at https://hammerlife, HAMMERLIFE.ca. It'll also be on our Facebook page and our Instagram page. Again, this is Scott reporting live at the corner of Wellington and Jackson.